Frustrated and I'm aching. Oh, this mess you're making. In about 30, you gon' taste the cake you're baking. Easily mistaken, true identity I'm taking. Jamila Bell and poet, these limbs ain't shaking. Breaking, and no time soon. Under God's great horizon is to give and way to dying. Now it's teaching misquiet, misguided. But only when you want the world to think you're guilty is innocent or wrongfully established. And when the repercussions come in, you don't want to face them. But you knew just what you were doing. Hopester, turn around and did the hokey pokey on them. Then you put your left fist in, you're disturbing, you're disgusting, you disgust me. And I ain't being rude, but I never like to bully. Are you anti-happy, want to bring a sister down, make a queen feel wheezy, borderline queasy. If they hate me from the sidelines, then why would I be weary? Won't be down on myself, cause these girls ain't never like me. Haters hate me easy, but God shows me that he loves me. Got me, much more for me. I'll hold on, I'm still writing on the story. It ain't meant for us to mix, oil and water ain't clingy. Hashtag please, you know I never like to bully. This message right here is because I've seen lately that in the U.S., for one, a lot of bullying is going on. And a lot of kids are killing themselves because they're being bullied in school, especially elementary students, let alone probably lots of high school students. The other day I was watching a video and I saw this pretty 10-year-old girl, I don't know what state it was, but she killed herself because she was being bullied in school. And it really disturbed me because I'm trying to think, how does a 10-year-old know how to hang herself? She hung herself in the basement. She was very beautiful, and that's probably why they were bullying her. They probably were just jealous. In any case, this is for everybody that's being bullied out there and for everybody that is a bully. Let me tell you about my story. Since I was about 12 years old, I always been different. Kids started to pick on me when right around when I was about 12. I lived in Pleasant Grove, and that's when I started getting picked on in elementary. Basically because I was chosen. I was just a little geek church girl. I had my own little style, and I was different. Whether it was how I walked or how I talked, or, you know what I'm saying, I was just different, and I was a loner at times because, and if I had a friend, they would always end up leaving me from, I guess right around that age. I would just go through a lot of stuff by myself just because of who I was and because of, you know, the mark that God set on me. So from that moment on, since I was about 12, I kind of started evolving into who I was. And when I got in junior high school, it only got worse. For those of you who think that you got it bad because you're being bullied, I'm trying to let you know not to kill yourself. Suicide is not the answer because you have a purpose. God has a purpose for you. He loves you. Okay? You think you got it bad. I'm telling you about my story, and I'm going to encourage you some more. In junior high, 7th grade, I went to W.E. Griner, Dallas, Texas, for theater. I was a arts kid. So I didn't have any friends. I would eat by myself. When it was recess time, I would be by myself. I was the only girl out there that didn't have nobody to talk to, nobody to stand with. And it wasn't because I was very antisocial. I was just different. So I found myself alone very often, most of the time. I didn't make friends until later on in theater. I made 2 friends. And they didn't even really turn out to be true friends. So oftentimes I ate by myself. The only time I would kind of have fun is during different little theater plays. At certain times I kind of have fun. But it was still good because I was in theater, so I could be myself. Then later on I went to Arts Magnet, Dallas, Texas. And it still got worse. First, I was like, well, you know, I had a coolness, a swag about myself, a uniqueness. So I liked being at Arts because I was going to go to Lincoln or Arts. But they was like, no, don't go to Lincoln. You'll get picked on, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have to come up there. So I went to Arts Magnet, and I liked that because I could be myself. But the friends that I had made originally, they left me quick. Something about, you know, growing up with me. Like I said, since I was 12, girls would always seem to turn on me. Or when it was time to go to the fair, they'd be like, oh, no, I got to go with my cousin. Oh, no, I got to go with somebody. Something would always happen. I would always find myself alone, especially from adolescent 12 to my teenage years. So at Booker T, I would always eat by myself after those girls just dissed me and left. You know what I'm saying? I have a true Beautiful Reject store, and I have a poem called Beautiful Reject. I'm gonna do that again. But yeah, so I would be by myself a lot. I didn't fit in that much, even at an art school. You know, you different and weird and all this other stuff if you don't even fit in an art school. So people would know me or whatever, but I became antisocial because I couldn't understand the call that God had on my life and who I was. because I just wanted to be cool, and I just wanted to be friends and have friends like everybody else. Just I wanted to be like this cool chick that had all the, that had friends, or even just had a few friends, but girls would always leave me. Girls would even talk about me at an art school. Sometimes I would get picked on at an art school, and most of the time it would be my own black sisters that would be like very ugly and shady to me. But anyway, I left Arts Magnet at about 10 and a half, at about my sophomore and a half year, or the first semester of my junior year, because I wanted to go to a regular school. So I went to Duncanville, and also I was a church girl, and like a lot of time at art schools, they kind of I don't know if it's true for every art school, but they kind of bash the Lord, or they kind of pro gospel or pro holiness, and I was raised in apostolic holiness, and so that was a part of me being alone a lot too. And also just because I was different, God made me that way. Even at an art school, and I wasn't gonna sell out for anybody, even though I was still coming into myself, and I was still trying to figure everything out. But I went to Duncanville, and I really loved Duncanville. I ended up graduating from there. Even there, I walked alone. At first, it was cool, had friends, but even they became, shady, or not really friends, just associates. But even some of them was shady, and some of them weren't. It was just I would still be walking alone just because of who I was. And then I went to college. Man, my whole college is a whole different story. I'm gonna have to tell that after I graduate. But it's basically the same thing. I would meet friends, they would end up backstabbing me, leaving me, go to these events, and all of a sudden we come together, and all of a sudden somehow they all leave me. So I'm just telling you guys that we were all made in God's image. We all have a purpose for the Lord. Don't let nobody make you feel like you less about yourself and make you feel bad because you don't have friends because they teasing you. Because 9 times out of 10 you got something that they don't have, or they just ignorant, or they just want to make themselves feel better by picking on somebody. But for whatever reason, some people are evil like that. But know that God has a purpose for you, and you cannot reach that purpose if you kill yourself. And that is a sin. You know what I'm saying? You will go to hell for that. That's a sin. And a lot of people don't know that. And so it's sad when kids do that. That whole thing, that's very sad. Don't get caught up on, well, what happened to this kid, and worry about you. If you're being bullied out there, I've been in cafeterias, especially at HBCUs, where the whole caf, like every female in the caf wanted to fight me just because of who I was. Like, it was really uncomfortable, but I had to grow into myself. Then I realized not to be nervous just because you walk into a room and everybody's looking at you. Because at first I was uncomfortable, especially at Clark. I would just walk in, and it's like my presence would just illuminate the room, or not illuminate. It would draw attention. And so I didn't learn until I got to Jarvis Christian College how to really direct that. And then I started liking it because I felt like I was a celebrity in my own right. But I knew who the author was, because it wasn't really for me. It was for God. He had a purpose for me. He was trying to do something, and he's trying to use me. So I became strong with it. So know who you are. I'm going to do another follow-up video to give you some scriptures. You know about David and Goliath, but I'm going to do some other scriptures. Just do not kill yourself. God has a purpose for you, and that's what the devil wants you to do. He wants to take you out of here before you reach your purpose and your destiny through Christ. I don't care how you look, where you're from, how you were raised. God has a purpose for you. He wants to use you. He sees the greatness you are. Don't worry about what people say. Who cares if you don't have friends? Nobody's been through it like I have. And if you have, know that it's because God has something great for you to do. That means you're somebody great. When somebody picks on you like that, when you go through so much, that's only because you're really somebody. Whether you're whether you're secular or not even secular artists, they are, let alone when you give your life to Christ and you stay up for God, you're going to go through it. But even for those of you who don't, I would encourage you to know the Lord. He loves you. He died for you, and he resurrected. But he has a purpose. He made you in his image. You're beautiful. No matter who you look like, what you look like, you're not too dark. You're not too bright. Your hair's not too nappy. You're not too skinny. You're not too fat. You're perfect the way you are. So grow in the Lord. Better yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually by getting in the word. Don't let nobody convince you to kill yourself and make you feel like you're hopeless, because your situation is not hopeless. Your situation is the dopest, because one day this is going to be a testimony. You're going to be able to use this to inspire others. And what I like to do is use my everything I've been through to make rap songs and everything. And that little excerpt I did earlier was from a song I wrote called Bullied. And so I would like to get it out there. So I'm just trying to encourage you guys. I'm going to do more videos. Do not kill yourself. What's the answer to bullying? Jesus is the answer. Pray. And just because they don't stop bullying you right at that moment don't mean he don't love you. He's making you. That does not mean he wants them to do what they're doing. But because they are, it's only going to make you stronger. You don't have to kill yourself. If you need to leave the school, do that. If you can't leave the school, be strong. Sometimes you may have to fight. Sometimes maybe you need to leave. Sometimes you need to get involved in activities and sports and music and theater and different things to keep you busy, and use that outlet. But don't let nobody make you feel like you're so worthless, because God God created you for something. And if you kill yourself, that's what the devil wants you to do. He wants to take you out of here before you get to affect another life and be who God has called you to be. So please, I hope this message encourage you guys. For you bullies, you need to bully down. Because if you don't stop right now, one day you're going to get to hell. Okay, if you don't change and repent, then those bigger bullies down there in hell, because hell is real, they're going to bully you the way you bullied others and worse. And it's going to be some of the biggest demons you ever seen. And some of y'all get so high off of making other people feel low, out of cursing other people, making other girls feel bad and boys. That's going to come around. It's going to bite you in the booty. Karma is real. You reap what you sow, like the Bible say. And if you don't get it right, people die nowadays, young and old. You're going to go to hell and you're going to be bullied for the rest of eternity. You're going to be bullied until Judgment Day. Then you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. So you need to stop bullying people and get yourself together. You need to get it together. You need to straighten up and stop being insecure, making others feel low, and do something with yourself. And for you other people like me, that you've been bullied, that means that you're somebody special. That means you're somebody. I don't care what you look like, who you're from, or who you are. God has a purpose. He made you in His image, and you're beautiful. So don't let nobody make you want to kill yourself or nothing like that, because God has something for you to do. God bless y'all. I'll go follow up to this. Somehow I don't think it's still recording. I really don't. I really don't. Oh, thank God it is. Good.